Now today, Friday, March the 7th, we finally heard a little bit of a break in the silence from EA regarding the next Battlefield game, Battlefield 6, Battlefield 2025, wherever you want to call it. But we finally gotten a little bit more information, and today they released a blog post detailing a little bit about what we can expect with the movement in the game and the gunplay. Now, really, I enjoyed the movement of 2042. I thought it was fine. I enjoyed the gunplay of Battlefield 4. Every single gun felt very unique in how it
Okay,
was
that makes
used,
sense.
and you really had to know how to use the gun for it to be the most effective in your hands. But without much ado, let's go ahead and dive into this. Don't forget to like and subscribe below, and if you want to join up and sign up to be one of Hitch's recruits, you can do so. Click the join button down below. You get some cool emotes. But other than that, let's hear from Battlefield and EA DICE on what they're wanting to communicate to us. And so far, they say we've continually evolved our gunplay and movement mechanics throughout the Battlefield series. Now, within Battlefield Labs, we're focused on refining the best elements from past titles, modernizing them, and validating if they feel fun and rewarding and have the right balance between intuitive control and dynamic combat. We're designing the combat experience to ensure players of all skill levels can enjoy our gunplay and movement systems. Our goal is to offer gameplay that rewards skill with precise weapon feedback and movement options for veterans while providing an intuitive experience for new players to learn and enjoy. Now, this being said, I like hearing this. As long as it's not skill-based matchmaking, I like hearing this because one thing that was great about Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 was a very low skill floor, meaning that anybody could jump in and play and, be reasonably skilled with it, but there is a sky-high skill ceiling that you can set both with guns, with movement, and with vehicles as well, and that gives you reward over a long time. The better you get at the game, the more fun it is, and it takes a long time to get there because there is that really high skill ceiling, and that's why Battlefield 3 and 4 were so fun. Let's keep going on. For gunplay, we're exploring designs centered on helping you learn and develop skills and muscle memory through action as weapons naturally signal their recoil direction. This feedback loop allows you to understand and adjust your aim, making it easier to handle different weapons. This system not only adds variety, but also enhances each weapon's unique feel and playstyle. Now, that's a good thing. I like what I'm hearing because I don't want this visual recoil fad that has come up in Call of Duty and some other first-person shooters. I don't really like it. I want the bullets to go where my red dot is, and if the actual recoil of the gun changes where that red dot is, then I can compensate for it. But if it's just visual recoil, it's just visual recoil. They go on to say, movement is also deeply integrated with gunplay, as your actions and targets are all a part of the same cohesive combat experience. We aim to make movement both feel intuitive and rewarding to move within the world and during combat, but also when playing against someone using both the gunplay and movement systems to their maximum potential. Once again, they're appealing to that sky-high skill ceiling that we want to see. They ask what's new and improved for gunplay and movement. Initially, we'll test select but important areas that create the foundation required to create a fun and rewarding Battlefield combat experience. We're making focused efforts to create consistent and optimized millisecond to millisecond soldier combat, and we'll share some key examples of changes that will be available during our initial play session. Very much looking forward to that. We reduce the time it takes for bullets to appear on your screen from when you press fire. This change decreases input delay, making shooting feel more responsive and helps you better track and hit moving targets. I know that there was like a really big controversy about this with Battlefield 2042. I remember there were a couple content creators that came out and did extensive tests on ping, extensive tests on feedback, right? And a lot of it was really inconsistent. So I'm really appreciative that they're going and trying to pin this down before release. I feel like they're trying to, gain some goodwill with players, but again, don't pre-order because we've yet to find out. We're optimizing for a 60 Hz tick rate, ensuring the game server more frequently updates the positions and actions for all players. I think 60 Hz tick rate, I believe, is kind of the standard across AAA games right now. So there's a good nor bad. It's just kind of like, hey, we're doing what we need to do. This results in responsive gameplay across all platforms and inputs. You'll notice more precise shooting and movement, enhanced damage feedback, and more accurate representation of other players' positions and combat outcomes. I certainly hope so. We've adjusted the recoil system to make the different weapon types feel unique when firing them. Through enhancements to gunplay recoil, camera shakes, and firing settles, each shot's recoil direction now matches its gameplay angle. Now, see, that's what I wanted to know. The angle of the gun and how that recoil is bouncing the gun around, that's going to decide where your bullets go. It's not just going to be some weird visual recoil that messes up what you're trying to look at. The weapon visually stabilizes the more accurate your handling is, making you feel you're actually firing and controlling it. To evolve the movement system, we've revamped animations and reintroduced movement features such as crouch sprint, combat dive, landing roll, and added visual indicators to make it easier to understand when movements such as vaulting or leaning are possible. So to me, that sounds like a little bit more, less Battlefield and a little bit more Call of Duty, which isn't necessarily a bad thing as long as we keep the, what's the word I'm looking for? The crucial tenets of Battlefield still protected, okay? I'm okay with crouch sprinting. I'm okay with even combat diving. I think that's good. The way Battlefield 5 did it, where you could, jump and then look around a little bit. You could dive and, shoot from the ground and turn around. I really appreciated that. That was a really good move, and I'm glad to see it back here. If Battlefield 4 ever really kind of has aged badly, it would probably be in the movement. If you've been playing Call of Duty in the new 2042 game, you jump back to 4, and it feels like, you're just walking in molasses. After a while, you really get used to it, and it's fine, but that first little change can be a little jarring, so that's something that I'm glad they're making an improvement on. At this stage, content within Battlefield Labs is pre-alpha, and play sessions take place within a closed dev environment focused on testing small chunks of a larger array of features. Some gameplay features are placeholder, work in progress, and with bugs and performance not being representative of the final experience. However, even during this early stage of development, you'll get a good sense of our new design approach. During our first play session, our teams will be validating the systems and stability of Battlefield Labs, such as server performance, while participants will be able to familiarize themselves with what's next for Battlefield through testing the gunplay and movement experience focused on these points here: feeling of the different weapon archetypes, improvements to aim and control, weapon balance and fun factor, the look and feel of movement, moving and interacting with the map, and combat pacing. Now, this is something that I think Battlefield 4 just absolutely nailed. You could really figure your guns out. All your guns had different spread, basing off you were standing, if you were crouched, if you were prone. They had different recoil patterns. They had a longer and shorter times between the reset of if you let off the trigger, how long it took to reset the gun. So there's a lot of character in those guns, and it sounds like this may be kind of what they're going for now, and I hope that's the case. Lastly, they say, stay tuned. A reminder that while our play session will be within a closed environment and we can't invite everyone to every PlayStation, we'll make sure to keep you informed of ongoing Battlefield Labs play sessions and learnings through these regular community updates. Back in the coming weeks, talk more about our learnings from our first play sessions, as well as another feature-focused community update. Have you already signed up to play Battlefield Labs playtest? Let us know on the Insider Gaming Forum if you have any success. So, I'll try to see if I can find the link and put it down in the description below. But for now, this looks like the news that we've got for a little bit. I just did post another video detailing the fact that someone has violated their NDA in a most egregious fashion by openly just streaming it to Twitch. So that being said, if you want to hear some details on that, click the link here in the end card. But other than that, God bless. Get you good out.